Well. It's kind of interesting. I talked about Birth of a Nation the other day without really knowing the stats of how it did at the box office, and I was kind of a couple of people that left messages or comments, should I say, about how it did at the box office, and so I felt the need to look it up, and I thought it was kind of interesting that they had a $10 million budget, but they only raked in $7 million. Do the math. So there's a lot of buzz right now, and a lot of talk about how Birth of a Nation has flopped. A lot of people are celebrating that. One person wrote that I guess it wasn't enough white folks with a guilty conscience to actually cause the movie to make a profit. That's what one smart aleck wrote. And you can imagine it wasn't one of us. Other people are saying it flopped for other reasons, because black people are tired of the slave movies and slave narratives. Some are saying black people don't want to support black producers, even though this was, I believe it was sold to Fox, but it was, it was the baby of Nate Parker. And then others are saying that black people are looking at the fact that Nate Parker is married to a white woman and got the nerve to be trying to put out a movie that is seemingly teaching us the history of what happened with Nat Turner, or should I say a portion of it. Now, I've always been intrigued by the story of Nat Turner. I didn't take the same attitude that a lot of blacks take, which is Nat Turner was a troublemaker. That's how a lot of black people feel. That's sad and unfortunate that you think that somebody's trying to help your black behind is a troublemaker. Nat Turner was a man who stood up for his rights when nothing else worked. He said, okay, I'm going to do what they've done. He says, I'm going to do eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That's what he did. Now, it's interesting. There's a video on YouTube where descendants from both sides of the Nat Turner story are good friends. There's a black guy who is, I think, the great-great-great-grandchild or something like that of Nat Turner. And then there is a white guy who is one of the descendants of a person that was killed by Nat Turner. The two just so happen to be friends. They are, I believe, from the area where Nat Turner resided. And so the black guy, who's a relative or descendant of Nat Turner, he's been doing research on the story, and he looks at Nat Turner as a hero, and he expressed why. And his expression is on target. Now, the white guy, who is his friend, or they claim to be friends, I don't see it possible to be friends with people that are enemies, historical enemies. But anyway, the white guy, he says no, he don't see Nat Turner as a hero. Of course you don't see him as a hero, because in your mind, how dare you defend yourself? How dare you defend yourself? Now, I'm pretty sure that any so-called white person who died trying to defend the honor of his people, he would have deemed them as a hero. But because Nat Turner is a black man who rebelled against white slavery, this white man don't see him as a hero but a criminal. As a matter of fact, I believe he even said that, during his time he was considered a criminal. So it's a crime to defend yourself against white supremacy, rape, murder, torture, and all of that other stuff, slavery, abuse. But it's interesting how the black guy, in a very intelligent way, presented some very good facts about his ancestor, Nat Turner, that really shows a better light of what happened with that rebellion. It really shines some good light on the subject, and it's the white man's way of. Let me tell you how the white guy looked at the story. He said, well, Nat Turner killed innocent women and children. Some of these children would have grown up to follow in the steps of their ancestors, to kill, rape, and murder just like they did. Now, as to whether or not that was heroic in their eyes or not, they still going around treating Christopher Columbus like he was a hero. Look at all the heinous things he did, and then they got the nerve to get upset because someone wants to consider Nat Turner a hero. This is that hypocrisy that I'm talking about. It always surfaces. They are hypocrites. They have double standards. One standard for them, another for us. And this is why the Most High is going to deal very harshly with them and anybody who joins with them. Shalom, family.